American Girl dolls are the perfect metaphor for being a woman. They're 18 inches tall, mostly silent, made of vinyl.
It's not a metaphor.
Fine, a simile. Anyway, olds and youngs in the audience might remember that American Girl dolls inspired women everywhere to lead great lives through their own inspiring, harrowing, impossible-to-live-up-to life stories.
Molly survived on Victory Garden turnips while her dad fought in World War II. Kit became a published journalist before the age of 10, and Felicity was the first young woman in American history to be labeled a horse girl.
During this game, you must face a jury of your peers. And by peers, I mean a group of unblinking American Girl dolls that we've set here on this ledge. You must justify your paltry accomplishments to this board of esteemed women. To begin, Samantha.
You probably remember me as the rich bitch of the American Girl dolls, but did you know that I was orphaned after both my parents died in a boating accident? I don't even remember what my father's face looks like. I found a doll at a store that reminds me of my mother, so I worked tirelessly to buy it by doing household duties for Grand Mary. When was the last time you helped an elder?
All right, Jody, it's time to prove yourself to this important woman.
The last time I helped an elder... Well, I've been doing a thing called Neighbors Feeding Neighbors, where you make a meal and then it goes to a family in need, and there's lots of elder folk there that are not able to go to the grocery store because of COVID or are immobilized in some way, and so I've been doing that for the last 4 months.
That's very impressive. Thanks for sharing that, Jody. What's one of the meals that you like to make?
Oh, I made this one thing called a vegetable upside down cake. And you make all the vegetables and then you hand make this dough that you put, you put the vegetables on the bottom and then you put the dough on the top and then you put it in the oven and then it comes out and you flip it over. And instead of being like a pineapple thing, it's like a savory upside down thing. And that was really fun to do and a new thing.
That sounds pretty good. I've never had real food before.
It's good to try.
Thank you, Jody. You are dismissed.
And now, Nicholas.
Estaba completamente desconsolada cuando perdí a mi madre por causas trágicas de muerte no reveladas cuando tenía 8 años. Pero luego, cuando tenía 8 años y medio, decidí convertir mi trauma en fuerza y entrenar con mi tía para convertirme en curandera o sanadora. Es como digo siempre, la amabilidad es la mejor medicina. ¿Te consideras una persona amable? ¿Qué evidencia tienes para respaldarlo?
All right, Nicholas, I think I speak directly for Josefina when I say, this better be good.
I would say so. I would say I'm pretty kind. I try to lead with empathy and also try to lead with forgiveness. For me personally, since we're sharing traumas, Josefina, when I was 25, I dealt with a blow with cancer, and that left me with some paralysis in my lower extremities, and I was a dancer before all of this, so that was effectively ended when that happened. And to this day, I have not yet found the ability to have complete compassion, love, and forgiveness for a body that failed me. But I think that I tend to try to spread that compassion and forgiveness and love to other people in an attempt to try to figure out what that looks like for myself. And if I can't give it to myself, then at least I can give it to someone else.
Gracias por compartir eso con nosotros, Nicolás. Eso es muy amable. Parece ser un hombre bueno. ¿Por qué no eres más amable contigo mismo?
Because that's the hardest. Who do you know that is truly kind to themselves? I think being kind to other people is a thing you can just do instinctively, while being kind to yourself is a thing that you have to learn to do. And you never stop trying to figure that out.
Nicolás, solo soy una muñeca, pero si pudiera llorar ahora mismo, lo haría. Te quiero.
Oh, te quiero, Josefina.
Our final question comes courtesy of Kirsten. Take it away, Kirsten.
During my first winter after immigrating to America from Sweden, my pet raccoon knocked over an oil lamp and burned my family's log cabin straight to the ground. So my brother Lars and I went fur trapping, trying to lay as many traps as possible to earn the necessary money for our family to rebuild our home. When it started to grow dark out, we headed to our cranky neighbor Old Jack's house to borrow a lantern when we were faced with a surprise, the frozen corpse of Old Jack, still sitting at his kitchen table. But every cloud has a silver lining, and we were able to sell double the pelts, ours and Old Jack's. Tell me about the last time you made the best of a bad situation.
Well, Kirsten, first of all, thank you for sharing that story with me. I can imagine that it requires you to revisit some old trauma, and I just appreciate the strength that it takes to share that. As all of you women are aware, life is hard, and I know that you learned that at a young age. Josefina, which is actually my mother's name, she's an immigrant from the Philippines, and she taught me a lot about resourcefulness. You know, she came here with nothing, and like you, Kirsten, you know, the immigrant life is hard, and she worked full-time and raised 3 children. And I've been thinking about that a lot in the pandemic. This time, I think parents have really been left behind. We're asked to work our jobs, we're asked to take care of children. So, to be frank, ladies, it's kind of a shit show. I'm trying to balance my work, I'm trying to be a good partner, I'm trying to take care of my children, and I'm trying to just get anything done, and so I feel like everything is a triumph. But I will say that one good thing, or one thing that I see that's come out of it is I understand how important that domestic work is and caring for your people is, and I celebrate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. You've made some salient points. Your daughters sound particularly fun. Do you think they'd like to play with a girl like me?
I know they would love to.
Thank you. I'll take that into consideration when we're keeping score. You are excused.
Thank you, ladies.
And now we'll give the dolls a few minutes to deliberate. Well, girls, who's going to be our winner? Congratulations on winning a point, Angela, even though your accomplishments will never reach those of these historical children.